As I said, there are good reasons to use social media, but there are also good reasons not to use social media. Well, I'm not so sure there are really good reasons, but there's certainly reasons that academics have mentioned to me in the past. The first one is that academics often don't know what to do and how to do it. They're basically insecure about their skills, and I can fully understand that. But first of all, I do hope that the various sections of this presentation and the accompanying blog posts have given you some insight in this. And second, if you are a bit of a technophobe and are concerned about the mechanics of it, rest assured that all of these platforms make it very easy for you to start. The biggest idiots can and unfortunately often do use them. So surely as an academic you are smart enough to figure out what to do. I also hear a lot of people say, well, I just don't have enough time. They might be using social media in a private context and have experienced how it can be a major time drain. And that's absolutely true, but I think it is possible to do this effectively and to just set aside some time once a week or maybe even once a month and focus on the essentials. In the last part of this presentation, I will give you some tips on how to get the best results if you are time poor. Other people say, I'm concerned that if I do this professionally, I'm blurring identities because I'm also sharing and retweeting stuff that's more personal. And I think that's a very valid concern, but it basically means that you need to decide in advance what kind of identity you want to build up on a particular social media platform. If you have a LinkedIn or ResearchGate account, that will probably be mostly professional most of the time. Twitter lends itself for both professional and private news. So if you're really keen on Twitter and you'd like to share a lot of cat videos, using that as an example because it seems to be the most popular thing shared on social media, then maybe it's a good idea to have a separate private Twitter account and then to have a professional Twitter account. You can open as many accounts as you want with different handles and different usernames. Then of course there's the worry of online abuse and trolls. And in about 5 years of social media use, I haven't personally experienced any of this, but I do know others who have, and this is a very valid concern. Here are a few things you can do. You can first of all be selective about the platforms you engage on. If you're unlikely to get abuse on your staff profile or your Google Scholar profile or paper repositories as they're not interactive. However, abuse is also quite uncommon on LinkedIn. Blogging, whether long-form blogging or microblogging such as Twitter and YouTube, are a bit more likely to attract nasty people. However, you can simply not enable comments on blogs or limit the viewing of your tweets to the people that you connect with only. You can also be selective about what you post and decide not to engage in political debates, for instance. But if you do research on controversial topics, so as any form of identity, anything related to politics, migration, or in the current UK context, anything related to Brexit or COVID vaccination, you need to seriously think about whether you want to expose yourself to potential loonies. Now, other people say, well, actually, I haven't published that much. I haven't done that much research. I'm a junior academic. I don't really have that much to say. Well, that doesn't really matter because you can also be just there and listen to what other people share on LinkedIn and Twitter and on their blogs, and you can respond to that and in that way engage and build a profile and possibly followers as well. Then once you've published and you've published your first paper, you know what kind of interaction goes on these fora. You know what language to use, you know what the academic etiquette around what you do and what you don't do on this particular social media platform. That's much better than waiting to publish your first paper, then open all sorts of accounts and then blunder into it or speaking into a void because you don't have any followers yet. Okay, then there's one more reason that I hear a lot, and that's important enough to devote a separate slide to.